Well, welcome to the Rockpit, Karly Jewell. On today, the release day of your There's a Jewel in Town album, your second album, and
Yeah,
I also believe it's your birthday. So happy birthday and congratulations on the album release.
it is. Everything's happening today. Birthday, album, new songs. Oh my goodness, it's all happening.
Album launch as well, I believe tonight at Scotties Garage too. The first of two
Yeah, it's my
nights.
birthday party, so I'm gonna do an acoustic show. Do a few of the new songs stripped back, and then tomorrow we're gonna do the full band experience.
Bring the heat and the power, hey?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So congratulations on this on your sophomore record. Um, what an intensely personal record this seems to be.
Yeah, it really is, right? It was such a surreal feeling, like the few days coming up to it. I had this feeling that I was sitting with, and I was like, I don't know what it is. And I even messaged Stuart. I was like, maybe I'm just a really emotional person, but I was like, it's like all of a sudden I had this sense of feeling, and I was like, it's like closure, it's healing, it's how amazing music really is. It's grief, a lot of it was grief, and then I was like, because it was almost guilt, when you lose, it's like that when you lose someone you love, and it's like the first few days, and then something will make you laugh or smile, and you feel bad about that. It's like a sense of that feeling in a weird way as well, because it's like I'm so excited, but then I was like, I lost my grandfather to write these songs, and my stepdad took his own life, and I wrote Heaven Gets the Best. And, but what an amazing way to honor them, and especially with my pop to like continue that legacy in songwriting. And yeah, it was all the feelings. But there's something about releasing an album, you get to look at it, and you've closed that door that you had to heal with, and you had music to heal with. And now I hope, there's so many hugs in some of these songs for people. And, I especially check out, it's I've been there, I know that feeling. And I didn't understand it until I knew what it felt like. And I look at people that have been through so much, and I just want to tell them how proud I am that it's going to be okay. Um and yeah, if they could see themselves through my eyes, like I'm just so proud, because I'm so blessed to be around so many strong, big-hearted people, that have been through some real things.
That's one thing about you. I mean, there's always been the personable side of you, the connection that you have with so many people that are not only fans, but just people you connect with people so beautifully. I love that about your spirit. This collection of songs, I think, will reach far and wide on so many levels. As you sort of said, it's there's a little bit of guidance and there's a little bit of beauty in there for everybody,
Yeah.
I think. I mean,
And I think especially with not Rock I'm Pretty, sorry, there's a Jewel in Town. It's like the video is probably not what you expect from that huge big banger, but at the same time, I'm a country kid. That's where I'm from, and my pops always taught me to be very real and just be me. And that's what I am. I'm a country kid from a small town, but I'm out in the world doing big things, writing massive, big, epic songs. And you can do that even if you're from a small town.
so if we talk about the album, the 10 tracks that make up the album, how long has that process taken to write this collection and to pick the right collection of songs?
Um, Look, uh, Rock Ain't Pretty, I wrote, that would have been, that was a few years ago. I had that song, and I just kind of kept it there. And yeah, I just hadn't found the right person to record with, to do that. And I knew I wanted to do another album. And, I was so lucky to work with Stuart, absolute honor. Um, but yeah, those songs come about pretty quickly. As you know, I write too many songs. I write I write a song a day. I've got my third album ready to start recording. I told Stuart I can't wait. Like now we can get into the third album. Um, so they all came about pretty quickly. The whole process actually took 2 years, because I did two Japan tours in the meantime, and did a few shows around Australia. Um, but all up, it actually took about 14 days to record that album. We got into the studio and just absolutely smashed it out. And that's what I love about going to Brisbane and working with Stuart. Like it's just me and Stuart, and there's nothing else to do except create massive big tracks, and that's we just put our all our attention is on that. There's no distractions, nothing. And yeah, they just came out huge. Um, yeah, so yeah, it didn't take too long. For me it's 10 songs, but I've even this week I've been working on like three new songs because I went to write one song and ended up with three ideas. So it
No,
never stops.
nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all.
No.
That's it's a perfect bit of creativity. Now you talk about working with Stuart. I mean, were there songs that you went in with that, you took a slight detour on what you'd envisioned them sounding like when you headed to the studio? Was there anything that Stuart went, maybe we go this way with it, or how did that collective work?
No, they just kind of turned out how they are, actually. Because I am such a, unboxed artist, I'm not like, it's not like I just write rock songs or I just write pop songs or, ballads or whatever. I write so much because I write from feeling. Like it's never been about trying to be just a rock artist. Even though I found my home, in a rock and roll band. But yeah, I just kind of write from feeling and it just, that's how they come about. And even in the dark, I was, recording that in the bathroom with the good acoustics. My demo that I first got together and just used, drum loops and stuff, and we really kind of kept it as it is, and it just, but on another level. And they just fell into place. And I think definitely like Jewell in Town was absolutely amazing with that track because I went in there with like no demo and I actually said to Stuart, I'm just going to sing it to you when I get there. Like, and I didn't even have the lyrics to sing. I had all these lines in my head and I was like, I'll know how to deliver it once I hear the music. Sometimes I need the music bed first. And that was the first time for me as well. Because normally when I'm writing it just kind of appears together, the melody, and I can hear it in my head and I get the pictures for the film clips, all that stuff. But that one, yeah, I just had this big epic unwritten song really that I knew once we started building the track and Stuart could create the melody that was in my head, we'd get it together.
It's amazing. It really is a beautiful, beautiful record. Again, I only had a chance to have a couple of quick listens before we jumped on with this to the whole thing. I've heard some of the stuff live, and obviously there've been the singles, but hearing it as a complete package was really, really enjoyable. Actually, I couldn't wait to play it again.
Oh, thanks so much.
So it's a fantastic listen. Now, obviously you've got the big launch this weekend. You've got the album's out on CD, and there was a limited run of vinyl. Has that sold out yet? Because I know it was close a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we sold out the first lot. So yeah, we do have more vinyls coming.
Oh, excellent.
Surprise. Um, and yeah, we did have the limited the album that's got the cool picture in the back. And yeah, so yeah, the launch is on the Saturday, and there was so much to this album, and like I know how special the acoustic show is, and even when I was writing Checkout, I started that acoustically, and I wrote that song while I was on my Cry tour, and it's the first time I've written a song while I've been on tour. And it was a tour all around Melbourne and inside radio stations. And I just kept, adding to the song. And each time I'd play it differently and really capture the feeling and what was holding people and how we were connecting. And then I knew on the very last show, I was like, that's it. And then I went back and I listened to everything and I thought, now I've got to get a better hook in there. Like, it's good, but I've really got to get this right because this is from the heart. And I knew how special that acoustic tour was, and I was like, I have to do, the stripped back versions of some of these songs at my birthday party. I know it's a celebration, but I really hope everyone cries. There's nothing like going to a show and fist pumping and all that kind of stuff, but there's something so amazing when you've got a whole crowd crying. There's so much healing, and What better way to celebrate your birthday with a big healing session at the same time?
Absolutely. And so when you say tonight's an acoustic show, tell me a little bit more about that. Is it just you with an acoustic, or are you accompanied by members of your band?
Yeah, Andre and Mick and Shannon are jumping in there. So yeah, I'm gonna do a new song as well that I'm recording this year with Bill Chambers. That's always a special one to do. It's called Ether. So yeah, we are gonna do some of the hits, the classic hits, Sid and Nancy and all that acoustic as well. But yeah, just have fun with it and really really have that personal space for everyone to really know who I am. I think that's so important. Being an artist is like, you can always people get to know you as like, she's this ball of energy on stage, hard hitting, rocker, but there's I want you to know who I really am, all of me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that resonates through this record. It really is a great insight to who you are, and the way you write is just so beautiful. It's well thought out. Clever.
Yeah, and you know
Touching
what? I
touching
think
lyrics. It's like
there's
it's
something in
incredible.
there for everyone, I feel.
Mm.
And that makes me so proud as a songwriter that I can connect on so many levels with so many different people. And that's the amazing thing also about being kind of a multi-genre artist. You really just meet so many different people. They might not like the hard rock stuff or but they'll love a good ballad or, I love electronic music and synth and stuff. And there's a lot of those elements that kind of
Mm.
come into these songs as well. And I've always been one to, make a good smoothie with all the flavors in there, I guess.
Excellent. And that's the great thing too, is because I think the record, because of how those elements are honed in into the songs and placed in there so carefully, I guess, is that there really
Yeah.
are three sides, to these songs. Each song has, three lives to a certain degree. There's the acoustic
Yeah.
version, there's the recorded version, and then there's the rock band version, which
Yeah.
is fantastic to know that you can mold so many things out of the one song, and I think
Yeah.
that's a true sign of a great song too.
Yeah, like Pop always taught me when I'm writing songs, like if you can't play it acoustically, like that's how you should write it. If you can play it acoustically, it's gonna be a good song. So I always start just, acoustic guitar myself in the bathroom with the good acoustics. And I'll take it from there. And yeah, I kind of just let my songs fall into place. They're just it's just telling stories and for me, like it's just telling a story. It's like talking. I think that's why I write songs so easily because even when people are talking to me, I was like, it's just like listening to music to me. It's just, you just gotta say it how it is, and not really I try not to think about it too much. If it's complicated, then it's probably not worth doing. But
For sure. So, and then we get back to the record. Um, you know, Obviously this is the first one that you've done for the people at X Music. How's that been, being signed to, a
oh,
semi-independent label within Australia that really are championing Australian music?
it's so unreal. Like I absolutely like it's been amazing working with Tim and everyone else that works with Tim, Marek Media and it's just been awesome and Tim's like really supportive and there's just there's so much support and it's so good to work with a label in our country and because we know the other bands too, we've been able to do lineups together and we all kind of know each other, we're already a big family anyway and it just it's been absolutely unreal and yeah, I can't thank him enough for everything he's done and it's really amazing.
Yeah, it seems like such a good little hub, and it's something that Australian music has certainly needed. And I was so stoked to see that you'd actually signed with them when it was announced. So you really do have the A team behind you, Marek Media and X Music.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful partnership between those two and the way that they do what they do.
Yeah. No, it's been really good and there's so much support and it's just I can't thank him enough.
So with the album out, what are the plans tour wise beyond this weekend celebration and launch?
Well, I mean, I write so often. I was so pleased to have this album out because I was like, "Oh, I'm ready to start recording the third album." Um, but we're kind of booked up until the end of the year. But I am looking at going back to the States end of the year, and another return to Japan. I absolutely love Japan, and for me, it's been unreal, and the support that we've had over there. It's just, you know. I had to go back. I have to keep going there. Um, but definitely, doing more shows around here, going to Brisbane as well, heading to Sydney, want to lock that in and got some really cool bands up there we want to do some shows with. So, yeah, just we've got a few things on now and it's just yeah, getting ready for these shows and the festival that we're playing in Adelaide, that's going to be really cool.
That would be amazing. Yes.
I'm so excited for that. Yeah, so I can't wait. And that's going to come up so quick. I feel like I recorded the first five songs and then was like, soon I'll have a whole album. And then 2 years later, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm hanging on to these songs. Like, this is wild. Like, I
Yeah.
can't wait to get them out. And then Tim came along. And it was just like perfect timing.
So when you signed to X Music, had you already had this album to present to the guys at X Music? Was it pretty much done and in the bag, or
Yeah, it was pretty much. I had just a couple of songs to finish up, and yeah, but pretty much it was all there. And yeah, said, well, I'm gonna go back and finish this album as soon as I get back from Japan, and that's what I did. I think I came back from Japan, spent a week here, and then was back to Brisbane, and we just finished the album, and we booked in like 12 days, and we had it done in like 4 or 5. It was just crazy.
it's
We
incredible?
just,
That's
I
great.
couldn't believe. I was going for a walk, and I was like, oh my God, like it's in the bag, it's done.
Done and
All the
dusted.
hard work's done. Yeah. I was like, well, now Stuart's got to do the rest, but my part's done. It's really done.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the album really is a credit to you, Carly. It's a magnificent journey, and I recommend anybody and everybody go and check it out. As you say, you're not restricting yourself to just one genre. There is so much in this record for everybody, from
Yeah.
the pop punk feels of Sad Girl through to Jewell in Town and other side, all of those, check out all of that. There's so much goodness in there, so I urge everybody to get out and have a listen to it. And most importantly, if you're in Melbourne and you can make it to Melbourne's East tonight, there's Karly Jewell's album launch and birthday celebration, which also encompasses this album. Obviously, it's the release of this record. And then tomorrow night, there's the full rock and roll show of the Karly Jewell band, celebrating the album yet again. Um, are there tickets still available, Carly, for these two shows?
Yeah, there is. Yep. Yeah, there is. Yeah.
Fantastic. So the two nights are at Scotties Garage in Seaford, an amazing live rock and roll venue that is your home. Oh,
Yeah, it really is. Like we've been working so hard, the whole team, and we've been doing our, rehearsals there on the stage and getting everything ready. And, there's just so much support that Terry and Rod put into the artists and our music scene here. It's like nothing I've ever seen, from a venue. And yes, there was no other place that I wanted to do this, but they've made it feel like home. And, I just want to go home and launch this album and have my birthday.
absolutely. Look, I know you've had a busy morning with interviews and media, and again, congratulations on everything. I'll be seeing you tonight. Actually, I'll be seeing you both tonight and tomorrow night, and I can't wait to see these
Oh,
shows.
I can't wait.
So super excited. And again, congratulations on the record. Happy birthday. And here's to, a ton of success for this record. You really do deserve
Yeah. Let's know, Mo. There's a jewel in town.
it. Absolutely. All right, Carly, we'll wrap this up for now. We'll see you soon. And thank
Thanks
you
so
for
much.
taking the time to chat to us at the Rockpit.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.